Hi, everybody. I'm here today with Dan Vodry. So Dan is the division manager of G.W. Murphy Wholesale, our two-step division that sells materials to other distributors really across the country. So I asked Dan to sit in with us today and to talk about one of our core values. And the core value that we're going to be going over today is teamwork. So Dan has been a long-term friend of mine. We've been friends for a large number of years, and he's also been with the company for several years as well. But in Dan's prior career, he was a head basketball coach at the collegiate level. And so I figured Dan knows a lot about teamwork. I've witnessed it both within our company, and I've witnessed it as a fan sitting courtside while you coach teams. So Dan, if you don't mind just spending a couple minutes just talking about what teamwork means to you within a company and even on the court.
Yeah, well, Gary, thanks for having me join you today, and it's been great to get to know you over the years. As you're saying, I think I've known you twice as long as I've worked with you, and it's creeping up. We're getting old. It's creeping up on 10 years we've worked together, but it's been just a lifelong journey for me. Growing up the son of a coach, learning about teams and building teams and what it takes, to have a team atmosphere and a culture within your organization. And I know that in the sports world, they often talk about a family when they talk about a team, and you'll hear teams huddle up and family on three, and they'll break their huddle with that chant or that kind of cry there, because it's such a culture that a coach is looking to just infuse into his team. And one of the beautiful things about your company, as I was able to join that team, was it was a family-owned, at the time it was a smaller family-owned organization, and it was really just a tight-knit group. And to see the dream, you often hear the phrase, teamwork makes the dream work. And to see over the years before I started working with you, the dream that you kind of had to take the company that your dad had started and the dreams, the things you envisioned wanting to do over the years as it kind of became a company that you were leading, as you were starting that leadership journey. Back in your, I think mid-30s when I first met you, and it was one of those things that as you started that journey, I could see the dream you had, and it was going to take, and you knew it was going to take a team, and just to see everybody kind of coming together, and we're better when we work together. The power of the multiplying the ideas and the energies. It's really cool to just see that can continue to develop in that family, G.W. Murphy, the family of businesses, just to see how it all kind of fits together. And it's just, it's a great team. I feel fortunate and blessed to be a part of it.
I appreciate you sharing all that. As you mentioned, it's a family of businesses at this point. The company has scaled, but that's the reason why we're using that G.W. Murphy family of businesses. I wanted to take a moment. So we have this handout that we give to employees with our values on it. And I wanted to read what we have for teamwork. So it says, teamwork. We are a team, and it takes a team to pull off what we do every day. We are at our best when we selflessly work together to accomplish a common goal. So Dan, you have your own team that you're responsible for with the two-step division. But then as that family of business that you talked about, we have other divisions. Can you first explain what teamwork looks like within your team, and then what that looks like with your division amongst other divisions and how that operates as a team?
So, that's a great question, and that's a great statement, Gary, and I love how you put that together of what teamwork really represents for our company and the family of businesses. And it's one of those things that, as you ask what does that look like on the daily in our wholesale division? There's Erica Torres is our sales coordinator. The other two wholesale sales reps, Noah Murphy, Terry Wilkins, and myself, the four of us work very close together in a physical space close together where we can hear each other, we can talk to each other quickly, but we also work very closely together just from a philosophy and from we're all in it together. It's all eight hands pitching in for every task, and almost for every order. And it's one of those things that The unfortunate side is that sometimes we start, over coaching in that moment. And almost like that, back when I coached, we used to call it joystick coaching, where it's like I'm a coach on the sideline playing a voice-activated video game, and you're saying dribble, shoot, pass, and players freeze up. And so the same thing happens, I sometimes, it happens more maybe with Noah or Terry, where they'll be on a phone call and I want to try to, mention this, mention that, as they're trying to sell something. And they always remind me, and we're looking to find a joystick to put on there to remind me, like, you can't do that. But we have a great unit and a great team there that just really can be efficient and just can follow each other and can work together, and we can break down stuff right after it happens. Yeah. And it's so awesome in that regard. But then you ask about, like, how does it fit into the whole family of businesses? Right. The beautiful part is I kind of think of it a little bit like a football team, where you have a head coach and you have offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, special teams coordinator, and that's kind of what we have. Is we're going to have a harmonious unit when all the managers have that cohesion and that working together, that if it's good for the company, if it's good for the family of businesses, it's got to be good for your division and your team. And I see that. I know just today I was talking with James Hatchett down at ARS about some material they need liquidated. And so it's one of those things that as we do that and as we continue to build that tight relationship, we rely heavily on the guys down in Biloxi and the guys in Hammond as they're doing the production of material. And it's one of those things that we can't do it alone. We're three guys making phone calls in an office, but the reality is you have logistics and you have production, right. You have forklift operators. Each member's job, it's like the quarterback in the Super Bowl. He wins MVP, and he usually buys his offensive line some nice watches or sports cars or right. trucks or something. I mean, I love reading those articles that you read.
Can't do it
sometimes.
without those guys.
You can't do it without those guys, and it's just awesome to be able to be part of that whole team.
That's awesome. Well, Dan, thanks for coming out today and recording this video on teamwork. You are a team player. You lead a team with excellence, and you participate in that greater team of the G.W. Murphy family of businesses. So thank you for that, Dan.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep.